Here we are, engines running, going out for a warm-up lap. So we take one lap around the entire circuit, and then we'll line back up and go around a small oval that's on the inside of this track, and for our rolling start. So I qualified, I believe, 9th for this heat. If I'm in the back, I tend to just fall back on this warm-up lap, not worry about trying to stay right on top of people. Just trying to get the tires warm, get reacclimated, and then we'll line up. So we're coming through the last few turns here. And you can see they're indicating time for everyone to line back up. So we slow down, grid up, and then the object is to get right on top of the cart in front of you, not slam them, but to stay right on top, because when the flag goes green, everyone will be accelerating. Probably before that, they typically jump the gun a little bit. There we go. Green is not out, but everybody's accelerating anyway. I fall back a little bit on purpose to make sure I can get through turn 1 cleanly. And I'm glad I did. So there's a little bit of contact there. I tried to avoid it by going high, and I'm able to get past 250, and I go past 12, which is Rei. And Rei and I end up having a pretty good race. I'm right alongside him there. That's Scott, number 35. Paul, number 7, goes off the track. I'm feeling pretty good here because I'm right in the middle of the pack, and I feel like I'm keeping pace. Rei makes a nice move, comes on the inside, and then I get right back on his bumper. And that group is starting to pull away a little bit. So I'm behind Rei, he sees I'm right behind him. I try to go for a pass here. He doesn't give me any room, cuts me off. And honestly, at this point, he's one of the better drivers. Most of the guys in front of there, they're all more experienced and have shown to have some pretty fast times. So at this point, all I'm trying to do is really keep pace with this group. On these earlier laps anyway. So you can see that group is starting to pull away from Rei, I guess from me too, but at this point I wasn't concerned with that. I was really just looking at Rei. And I thought I had a pretty good exit through there, and I'm following him through that turn is Daytona, and then you got this long straight, the slight kink left, and then another straight down to a hairpin. So I am right on top of him there, and I go wide to try to make sure I don't take him out. But I'm running a faster pace than he is at this point. And I think he knows that. We're still in range of that group, but looks like that gap is increasing a little bit. Rei is starting to look a little loose here. Catching back up again. I don't feel like I have enough to try to take him in that turn. I'm really just trying to keep pace. I get another good exit there. He keeps looking back. He sees me there. So now I'm starting to bump draft. I figure at this point, if the two of us, if we can work together here, maybe we can catch that next group. 'Cause honestly, I was pretty happy to be keeping pace with one of the faster drivers at all. And I'd never really been in a position where I had to bump draft, so I thought, why not give it a shot? Let's see if we can make some gains on that next group. Now they've broken away pretty far now. It's going to be tough to catch up with them. But if we can make any kind of gain working together, I thought that would be a valuable experience to be a part of. So for these next, I don't know, 2 or 3 laps, I guess, I decide I'm gonna just keep pushing Rei along this back straight. See if we can make some gains. And eventually I decided it wasn't really working, so then I abandoned it. It feels like Rei's going a little wide in that sweeper. And I dropped back a little bit here, but I felt like I was pretty good through this chicane. And I start gaining back on him again. He goes a little wide there. And I'm catching back up. Back through Daytona. Trying to tuck in behind him. Get the draft. Yeah, so by this point I decided the bump drafting wasn't working, and I'm gonna go on my own here and try to beat him. I didn't really intend to pass him on the outside there. I think I was hoping for a cutback, and really at this point in the race I was content to try to keep pace with him and put some pressure on him and just stay on his bumper. And because he was pretty loose, so I thought if I can stay on his bumper, apply a little pressure, that he may screw something up and I get an opening. I almost have an opening there, but I'm just not quite enough on him to jump into that gap. And frankly, I wasn't really looking for the opening here. I was content to ride out whatever I needed to get down to the last 2 laps or the last lap, and then try to create my opportunity there. Because you can see he's taking an inside line, he's going defensive here. Looks pretty clean on this lap. Seemed like he's going wide through this sweeper. I'd catch up to him there. Looks like that was a pretty good lap for Rei, but you can see that he's borderline blocking there. It's a pretty defensive move. Again, I'm trying to catch his draft. You can see he's going a lot further inside. I knew I couldn't get him on the inside, so I didn't want to ram him or bump him even and give him an advantage, give him a speed advantage at this point. I was really just trying to keep up with him and wait for a mistake on his part or wait for a clear opening. But it seemed like he was aware at this point that he wasn't catching up to the next group. He wasn't going to break away from me, so a lot of his driving became pretty defensive as he goes inside here, blocks, kind of swerving back and forth a little. I mean, I guess it's one move, but didn't seem like a very natural driving line to me in the moment. In the moment I was getting pretty irritated with him, to be honest. So I try to go inside here through this kink. He cuts me off. I'm getting a good exit through there. His defensive driving is slowing him down. I mean, it's slowing both of us down. But really, at this point I'm feeling pretty good because I know he's a good driver, and I've been keeping up with him for whatever this is, 12-lap race, I think. So I'm really just in Daytona trying to set myself up to draft him, but I'm definitely too far back here to make a move. Possibly catch up here and go inside, but he's blocking that inside. He's going way inside there. Maybe a cutback, set up for a cutback, but I really wasn't ready to gamble like that, so I really wanted to just keep up with him. At this point, I'm just decided I'm going to stay behind him to the last lap, and then I'll make some aggressive moves. And in this heat, Kart felt pretty good. I mean, obviously I'm keeping up there. And maybe it just feels like the Kart's together when you're staying in somebody's draft the entire time too. Things feel a little more powerful, and I don't know if it's the ability to follow somebody's line or just the fact that you're, essentially you're drafting the entire lap. And there's the white flag, and I decide this is it. So I go inside. Felt like I had a pretty good shot there, but he cut me off. And I see his head whipping back there. And I'm thinking at this point, if he gives me any opening on that inside, again, I didn't want to bump him. I didn't want to give him that extra speed. But this really put me in a terrible position to try to pass here. So I did think maybe I can cut back, and it was very close there, but when he swerved back in, I had to back out. I did not want to cause a wreck. He had been going wide here all day, or all race. Thought I might get him there, but I just wasn't close enough. By this point, I knew that was it. Last couple turns here, and that's it. Checkered flag. I was pretty happy with it though. Thought it was a good battle.
Good battle. You're much faster than me. Much faster than me. And then I get the feeling I won't get, and that's exactly what happened.